And joining me first of all, I've got talkSPORT's football reporter and transfer guru, Alex Crook. I know you've just been on. Alex, how you doing?
Probably about as well as you, I'd have thought, after events at Old Trafford this afternoon.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this the other week, weren't we? I never realised you were actually a Manchester United fan. So yeah, we can cry into our sorrows here, I suppose. But look, I don't know whether you find this better or worse. I've got to be honest. This was like rubbing salt in the wound for me because we were losing to Brighton, and someone messaged me and said Man United are after Marko Arnautovic, and I was like, no, please no. Now, look, I don't mind him as a player, but 33, 34 this year. I think he's been to China and now he's at Bologna. I just don't understand why Man United would. I'll tell you what, I just think it's desperation. And with 3.5 weeks left of the window, what can you tell us about this, Alex? It looks like they've had a bid rejected.
Yeah, it looks like Bologna are holding out for a fee of 15 million euros. I think the bid that United have made is around about £7.5 million. But I'm with you on this one. Actually, I've just seen a tweet from Samuel Luckhurst, who is the chief Manchester United correspondent at the Manchester Evening News, and he's described this as disrespectful to the fan base. And I think he's bang on. This is not what Manchester United fans signed up for. It was supposed to be a brave new dawn. It was a boardroom reshuffle. There was a new manager coming in who we were told wanted to put his faith in young players. Clearly, Arnautovic doesn't fit into that structure. And Arnautovic is trouble. Let's not make two bones about it. If you speak to Mark Hughes about his conduct in the dressing room at Stoke City, I think that would be a very enlightening chat. Fell out at West Ham before making that lucrative move to China to such an extent, actually, that when it was mooted that they might sign him back, I think it was the owners who actually put the stop on that. So this is a really backward step for Manchester United. And the most alarming phrase for me is the fact that Ten Hag views him as a cheap option who can provide cover not just as a centre-forward, but in the wide areas as well. Why are Manchester United looking for a cheap option? Is that really going to close the gap on the likes of, well, forget about Man City and Liverpool because they're over the hills and far away. Is it even going to close the gap on Arsenal and Tottenham in the race for the top four? No chance. This is a ridiculous move from the club.
Yeah, I think it's a great point about temperament as well, because we don't pick up on that. I mean, I was doing a bit of research earlier, and I think he's going to be 34 next season. He had 3 muscle injuries last year. I mean, look, even at 27, I wouldn't have took him at Manchester United. This is a guy that played for Stoke and West Ham. He's tall, he's mobile, but I mean...
I'm tall and mobile, and you wouldn't sign me. Maybe I'm not that mobile.
Well, I'm not so mobile anymore, but at least... But I've got a good temperament. But be careful, Alex. They might give you a call. You never know. It's that much of a weird transfer window. And, you know, all right, Liverpool and Man City are a long way away, and Haaland was fantastic today. But that doesn't mean that you need to submit and go, let's start buying 33-year-olds who've been in the Premier League, 26 years ago or whatever. It's very weird, and I think we're at that point where fans do need to start questioning it, because we were promised a new dawn, we were promised a rebuild, and some people are very patient for that rebuild. But I don't see why. We've been down this road before with Ighalo. We had Falcao many years ago. I mean, I said it before. It feels like a Wish Cavani, sort of like a Poundland version of Cavani. It's like we're getting worse in the window, and look. Let's try and bring some positivity to the equation. Are Manchester United going to get Frankie de Jong?
Well, listen, like you, I have maintained the stance all window that they wouldn't have wasted 3 months of their summer chasing a player who didn't want to come. And I know there's still a confidence from within the corridors of power at Old Trafford that move will still happen. Obviously, the fact Chelsea are now showing an interest is clouding the situation. We got more quotes from one Laporta, rent-a-quote himself tonight, saying that de Jong doesn't want to go, Barcelona don't want to sell him. Ultimately, they need to sell him, or he needs to take a pay cut. And again, I said to you, I think 2 weeks ago, that there's no way that he's going to take a pay cut, let alone waive the £17 million he's owed in wages. I think today has shown, if we were in any doubt anyway, how much Manchester United need de Jong. The fact they've started this new era, the new season, with McTominay and Fred still in those holding midfield roles is an absolute joke, quite frankly. And Ten Hag should have been straight onto the Glazers saying, come on, you've seen our deficiencies. Manchester United fans have known midfield has been an area of concern for several seasons. They shouldn't have needed to see it today for their own eyes, but they have done. They need to get this deal done.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. It's weird. I've always said football's a very simple game. I know people cling on to experts and managers and players' opinions, but football's a very simple game. And it was weird today to watch Manchester United and sort of get a sense of deja vu of a nightmare. You're like watching a nightmare again, and you're going, why do we have to watch McTominay and Fred play for Manchester United today when we watched it all last season? It's the reason we were bad. Why does Ten Hag need to learn that? But I suppose the next question is, Alex, I believe we'll get Jong because I think it's, well, I don't know why I do. I don't know why I'm putting any faith in United, but it just seems completely odd that we would be so fixated on a player that doesn't want to come. But with 3.5 weeks left, we know that United tend to take a good 2 months to do a deal. It seems that if we don't get Jong, there's not really any time or targets available to go elsewhere. So it almost feels like, and it's terrifying to say this if you watch United today, if we didn't sign Jong, that midfield would be it for the season.
Yeah, and actually I did get a message, I think in the middle of the week, from somebody connected at Old Trafford, and they were suggesting to me that there isn't really a plan B. I know we talked about Tielemans and Neves as being long-term targets, but I'm not sure that either of those deals really are likely to happen between now and September the 1st. If De Jong doesn't come, then apparently the plan is that Ten Hag will recruit from within, basically. Either keep faith with Fred and McTominay or try and maybe find a youngster like James Garner to fill the void. But again, that isn't going to cut the mustard. Garner might be a fantastic player, but I don't think he's ready yet. Yeah. And if Manchester United are serious about competing at the top end of the table, I think they need 4 players in, not just De Jong. I think right back, I thought Dalot was atrocious today, and Wan-Bissaka, I don't think can do the job that Ten Hag wants him to. Luke Shaw, poor again at left back. I know they've got Malacia, but I think he's one for the future. So they could do with a seasoned left-sided defender as well. They need a centre forward clearly, because Eriksen in a false 9 position was an utterly bonkers tactic from Ten Hag. Even though I thought Eriksen actually was the shining light for Manchester United.
Man of the match for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. But they need an option behind Ronaldo, who I think again they have to keep. You saw when he came on in the second half, he provided a focal point. He actually did a bit of high pressing as well, which was unusual. And I think he made a mockery of anybody who suggested that Manchester United are going to be a better team without Ronaldo present. That just isn't the case, because you can't replace him.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Perry Groves, who was on talkSPORT earlier telling everybody how Man United are better off without Ronaldo. And it was one of those moments where after the game, you're just like, yeah, we've got way more problems than Ronaldo, Perry. He's we need to tie him down quite literally and beg him to stay, really.